Eiyuden Chronicles is finally here, and if you haven't kept up on the hype, you need to play this game, and I'm going to give you a bunch of reasons why. Now, full disclosure, I did publicly back this Kickstarter back in 2020. Back when I did that, they also said that they would let me design an in-game item, but that never happened, so maybe someday. But also, full disclosure, this video is sponsored by Eiyuden Chronicles, and it's available right now. It's available on Steam, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And huge special thanks to 505 Games and Eiyuden Chronicles for sponsoring this video. Here's every reason why you need to play it. Number 1, the graphics. This game looks amazing. It's a perfect blend of pixel graphics and fully 3D environments. I want to emphasize the highly detailed, very well animated character sprites that look fantastic in a fully polygonal setting. Everything is so vibrant and colorful. Every single screen you end up on just pops. The way the camera pushes in or pulls out or rotates as you're moving around. You'll never get bored of looking at it. The combat camera keeps you engaged with dynamic movement too. I love the way it moves in and out with melee attacks or flips around when special moves are going off. It really keeps your attention by maintaining the energy of battle through the movement of the camera following your party members into attacks. Most importantly, this is classic turn-based JRPG combat at its finest. Pick your attacks, any special attacks, magic, or whatever, and then watch it all play out. If you've been missing the style of turn-based games of the late 90s, this is exactly the kind of game you're looking for. But thankfully, battles don't take forever. Along with that dynamic movement, characters don't wait for each other to finish before they take their own action. If multiple of them in a row are ready to attack, you'll see them hop forward and slash in a staggered order. It's enough to keep things snappy, but not so fast that you can't keep up with everything that resolves. It's perfect. Rune skills let you really pop off some damage when you need it. Every basic attack gets you a skill point in that battle, which you can use for some special attacks. These are bigger and flashier. Sometimes they'll have extra properties like higher crit rate or piercing through defense. These skills make sure your warriors have more to do than just basic attacking and help give your mages some reward for getting in there. Number 6, hero team-up attacks. You can combine these attacks. Having certain party members together lets you do hero team-up attacks. These do a ton of extra damage or other benefits, plus they just look awesome. It also incentivizes you to try different party combinations to discover all the team-ups. Most importantly, to add to the strategy of it all is the turn order. At the top of the screen is the current order in which everything will play out for the turn. Depending on your action choices, this can affect turn order. Things like defending or getting heal spells off matter more if you can make sure you can cast it before they are attacked and die, and that turn order matters. This adds in several layers of strategy and can be the difference between a close victory or a total party wipe. Number 8 is the music. I love the music in this game. The composers are doing an amazing job with a very unique sound. I cannot get sick of the battle theme, all of the town themes, and the Overworld theme. Seriously, the music is perfectly set into that modernized classic sound set. Speaking of the Overworld, you have so much freedom when it comes to exploration. There are sizable towns to go through and talk to everyone, but you'll also have plenty of opportunities to just go into dangerous forests or mountain areas or whatever. This can be important for finding some resources you need or powerful hidden items. It gives a lot of flexibility for side quests with wide open overworlds that ensure you are never railroaded on where to go next. There are so many towns! Some could feel optional because of just how many there are. You never know who or what you'll run into at these. It's also a good way to find shops with different or better equipment that you need. These are all absolutely worth exploring for many connected reasons. Number 11, cute animals. There are so many cats and dogs everywhere. Look at them. Recruiting new people to your squad. There are several moments where the game will just tell you, we need more people to join us. This means traveling the land to find new recruits. Many of these new characters will be party members that can join you in battle. Other ones will be able to help you out in other ways, like maintaining farms or shops. A lot of these characters are also optional, which means keeping an eye out for them while you're exploring around freely, just in case someone wants to join up. They'll also often give you little side quests to complete in order for them to join you. And there are tons of characters to join you. You have a party size of 6. You need people to fill out those roles. You'll be able to find dozens of them. And we're not talking more than 20 characters. We're not talking more than 30 characters. You can find up to 120 characters to join you, either as a playable party member, support, or a shop attendant. The harder part is picking out your favorites. Every step of the way, your party is completely customizable. You'll have your handful of main characters, sure, but you'll also be able to add in whoever you want. If you want to have an all-melee team who just beats face, you absolutely can. I like having some kind of ranger in the back row so you can shoot the back row targets safely. I also need to make sure I have some kind of magic user to blast their whole team when I need it, and also heal often. With so many characters, it's easy to feel overwhelmed with keeping them all up to speed and strong enough for the current mission. Don't worry, Eiyuden Chronicles has thought of this. When you use a party member who is lower level than the rest of the team, they get a huge boosted amount of experience points, allowing them to quickly and easily catch up to the rest. It never takes much effort for an even, ready team. And with all of these characters, every single one of them is voiced. The voice acting in this game is superb. They all have strong personalities, their own way of speaking and mannerisms, and some of the more serious moments hit harder thanks to stellar performances. It's easy for games of this size to resort to bland or boring voiceovers, but not the case here. They're all great. When making your party, where they stand matters. You have a front row and a back row. Most melee attackers can't target people in the back row and are more likely to be attacked, making them ideal for the front of the battle line. You can use the back row for people with ranged attacks like archers and healers. This also makes people who can attack back row enemies a little more valuable, because sometimes you need to take out their supports before the main enemy. You know, sometimes when you play RPGs, they do that thing where they say, the following person must be in your party because story reasons. Well, Eiyuden Chronicles does this too, but they don't need to affect your battle party. They have what they call attendance slots for your party. These are party members who are with you to participate in conversations and cutscenes, but will not be fighting in battles. So when you need to go somewhere and 3 characters must go with you, but you really want to use the team you already had? No worries, just stick them into the attendance slots. You can have your favorite party and the story important people with you all at the same time. In addition to that, some party members also have support abilities. This is another additional party slot for characters that can give passive bonuses to your team. Some examples of this would be like extra item drops, collecting more lumber from wood spots, or letting you swap out team members out on the field at save points. These are so cool and give even more ways of customizing your team how you want, or depending on what the situation calls for. So you got people in the front row and the back row, so do your enemies, and you want to hit several of them. A lot of special attacks and magic spells can target multiple enemies, often piercing through the front row and also hitting the back target. You can also have attacks that hits everyone in a full row. It's more to think about when it comes to selecting your attacks for the turn, but also where you're putting your party members in any given fight. You get your own castle! You even get to name it and everything, and will be your main base of operations. You gotta have somewhere for those 100-some characters to hang out at. And that castle can be upgraded. You'll slowly build your forces, but also spruce up the place. You'll get different decorations, but also usable upgrades throughout the game. Your own farming areas, resource points, shops, and the like. These new parts of the castle can be upgraded further, giving you plenty of things to put your war funds into. All the more reason you need to explore and recruit characters to help maintain your stronghold, and to look for the precious resource gathering points. Want to further customize each party member? You easily can. They all have rune slots. These are special skill slots that can be swapped around freely. This means being able to change out or give additional special attacks, giving someone magic that they didn't have before, or changing out an element entirely. There's also passive ones that do things like extra strength or hit points. You unlock more rune slots as the character levels up, and you can then truly see their potential. It also means hunting down every single treasure chest you see, because you never know if there's an all-new rare rune in there for you to use. The encounter rate is low everywhere. Yeah, there's random battles, but they happen infrequently. which is great because of how much exploration there is, whether it's going from place to place in the overworld looking for characters, or deep within a dungeon trying to make sure you find every single chest that you spotted. I'm very thankful that it feels like I can actually make progress when I'm in a dungeon instead of being interrupted every 5 steps. And if I get into a battle I really don't want to do, it's no problem. Auto Battle is available right from the start and does a very good job of quickly getting you through encounters that are trivial. Even better, you can set everyone's auto battle parameters to help make sure they aren't blasting off magic points more than you'd like or wasting skill points or whatever. Don't be afraid to use this and experiment with it, the game is smart about it. But you cannot auto battle the boss fights. These are tough fights against some awesome looking enemies. These will require a lot of thought every single turn. None of them are pushovers or fall into simple weaknesses like fire damage or whatever. Every boss fight I've done so far, I felt like I barely managed to scrape by, really putting my planning and RPG skill sets to the test. And if that wasn't enough, many boss fights also have gimmicks. These are additional context-sensitive actions that your party members can do. If you see the boss charging up a powerful attack, you may need to spend your turn hiding behind some cover instead of attacking. If your enemy is using a crane to drop boulders on your head, make sure you're using a slower party member to hit the lever back onto them to make sure that they take the damage. These happen just often enough that you'll never have to worry about boss encounters just being a tank and spank fight. Reason number 28. You can go fishing. Hell yeah, brother.
Yes!
There's puzzle solving outside of battles too. Lots of classic switch hitting, lever pulling, and alternate pathways from RPGs of the past. Moving minecarts around, bashing open walls, and the like are all here. And thanks to the low encounter rate that I mentioned earlier, it's never a chore to get through these. One of the things I really appreciate is how classic the side quests are. When you go into a town, you have to speak with people and remember what they want. You'll need to take notes and write down what people ask for, like with an actual pen and paper. There are no quest markers, no exclamation points above every NPC's head. This is truly classic gameplay and a classic way of doing side quests. This all fuels that exploration, that discovery, and rewards those tenacious enough to do it right. The trade posts are a great way to make money. Look, we all get tired of the battle grind just to earn cash, especially since there are so many people you need to equip in your stronghold. Thankfully, a faster and more efficient way to do that is the trading posts. Purchase a bunch of goods at one place at a cheaper price, then run it over to another town's trade post, and then sell them higher for profit. It's really easy to feel broke all the time with the constant equipment buying and weapon upgrading, so use the trade posts. It's a really good way to get a bunch of money. With this army that you're raising, you will be going to war with them. There are massive war battles that occur throughout the game. You'll be moving units around the battlefield, and all the important characters you've recruited can also be your officers. They will have their own special war commands for different buffs or attacks, and some specialize against different units in another way. This is another huge strategy layer with lots to discover. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you also have one-on-one duels. 2 characters face off, and you'll need to carefully select your actions. All-out attacks, more defensive counterattacks. Fill your meter enough and you can unleash a stronger special move. But you also have to keep your own hit points in mind with each of these. It's awesome to watch these play out and are very intense. Altogether, the best thing about Eiyuden Chronicles is that it really does feel like a PlayStation 1 era JRPG made for the modern day. The graphics, the music, the gameplay, it's all the kind of things that made me fall in love with RPGs originally decades ago. If you miss that kind of feeling, that's exactly what this game is going for. From the very start, as promised, this is absolutely a spiritual successor to the Suikoden franchise. Fans of Suikoden 1 or 2 will find exactly more of what they love here in Eiyuden Chronicles. The gameplay is perfectly replicated, the music is new but so familiar, and I love the highly detailed pixel graphics for every character. The base building, recruiting, the minigames, stuff like the war battles or duels come straight out of Suikoden. Only it's all properly modernized without losing the essence of what made it great originally. I've spoken highly about the Suikoden games of the past, and I am blown away at how they nailed it with Eiyuden Chronicles. I cannot recommend this game enough to anyone who loves Suikoden 1 or 2, and to anyone looking for a classic RPG experience like they had years ago. It's very, very good, and I am very much looking forward to whatever comes next from Rabbit and Bear Studios. Which we already know is going to be a sequel to Eiyuden Chronicles. I haven't even finished this game yet, and I am pumped for the next one. If this is just the foundation of everything that they are capable of, I can't even imagine what they'd be able to accomplish with a sequel. They deserve all the love and success they've gotten with Eiyuden Chronicles and that Kickstarter, because they have gone above and beyond, fulfilling the promises of what they set out to do. I'll say it again here, I can't recommend Eiyuden Chronicles enough. I've been loving my time with it, and I still have so much more of it to play. Once again, huge thank you to Eiyuden Chronicles and Rabbit and Bear Studios for sponsoring this video, and I am so glad I backed their Kickstarter from long ago. Thank you for making an amazing game, and you need to play it. It's available right now. Go get it. You won't be disappointed.